Hey folks, it's Ronan here. I realized with many of the videos it isn't clear what you need to do if you've been caught up in one of these scams. Although I have the details on my website, I thought a video would be helpful and complement the other videos on my channel. So here goes. If you've been caught up in this scam, you will need to do these things, and do them quickly. I'll get to each one of these in detail, but here's the big picture of what you need to do now. First, call your bank and cancel your credit card. When you call your bank, tell them you want to opt out of the card updater service. Then, go to the website that charged you and cancel the service. If you've been scammed, in other words, you didn't know about this charge or you would be charged, ask them for a refund. If they will not refund your money, then you'll go back to your bank and file a dispute with your bank. Lastly, I strongly recommend that you sign up for an identity theft protection service. Okay, let's dive in. Canceling your credit card. I know this is going to be a hassle. The truth is, you don't know who has your credit card, and I certainly do not. Remember that for most of you, your date was some dude in a faraway place. And even if you were not scammed, you gave your financial and personal information to a small shell company. Call your bank, get a new card. If you used your debit card, everything here applies and what follows applies, but I have a special message for you at the end of the video. One last thought on calling your bank. Be honest. Tell them exactly what happened. Trust me. They will appreciate your honesty, and that will help them act on your behalf. Banks need to have transparency in everything they do. Opting out of the card updater service. Okay, first, what is Card Updater? Card Updater is a service that allows merchants to receive new card numbers when their customer's card number changes. Visa calls it Account Updater, MasterCard calls it Automatic Billing Updater. Why do they have that? So you might have a subscription to something like a wine club. At my house, we have coffee delivered once a month, or you might have a newspaper subscription. All of these get charged to your credit card. So what happens if your card is lost or stolen? Well, you're up the paddle without a creek. You don't get the coffee, and the merchants you do business with are not getting paid. Nobody is happy. That's where Card Updater comes in. When you are issued a new card, that card number is automatically sent to the merchants and they update your account, and everybody's happy. So Card Updater is all well and good, except in your situation, so you need to opt out. Now, I have no idea if any of these companies use the Card Updater service. Even if they do not today, they could do so in the future. One last thought on this. Most banks will have a process to opt out. However, there is no regulation that requires your bank to do so. And if they won't do it, it's time to find a new bank. I don't think you'll have that problem, but just in case. Canceling the service. You will need to go to the website that is charging you and cancel. I can't tell you what that charge will be or look like because there's so many of these sites. On your credit card statement, it will look like some gibberish name. Maybe it's followed by a toll-free number. If you suspect that you've been charged but do not yet have a credit card statement, you will need to discuss it with your bank and get the site name. You need to know approximately when it would be charged. And remember, there's a delay between the time that you gave them your card and the time you'll be charged. Often these are 2-day free trial periods. Some are a little longer, some are as short as 1 day. On the site, there's a cancel function, and they will ask you for a partial credit card number. That's okay, because you have already canceled your credit card and ordered a new one. Now, if you have been scammed, you didn't know about the charge, and you're certain of that fact, you want to ask for the refund. On the website, there is usually a chat feature, or you can call the toll-free number. Explain to them what happened and see if they will refund your money. Although it hasn't always been the case, reports from my readers suggest they are cooperative and will refund the money. It really is in their interest because of what happens if you successfully dispute a charge. I'll get to that shortly, but when a charge is successfully disputed, it results in a chargeback to the company who charged you. They can lose their merchant status and the ability to take credit card payments. You'll want to ask for the refund by chat or phone. I recommend that you do this first as opposed to an email. Then follow up with an email regardless of the outcome of your call. The email address can be found on the website. Usually it looks something like cs@ and then whatever gibberish billing site is on your credit card statement. You'll want to document the conversation, because if you can't get a refund and choose to dispute the charge, you need to demonstrate a good faith effort to work out the issue with the merchant. If you've been scammed, and if they won't refund the money, then in the United States we have what's known as the Fair Credit Billing Act. Under this law, you have the right to dispute a charge. The bank must investigate the charge and respond back to you with the results of their investigation. At that time, you will either get a refund or you'll have to pay the bill. Now, very important, you have 60 days to file the dispute. I've seen many guys come through my website and have 3, 4, 5 or more months worth of charges, and they're wondering what to do. This is bad. Not only can you not get a refund for charges older than 60 days, it diminishes your standing for charges you might be eligible to dispute. Think about it this way. You've had a charge that's been on your card for 3 months and you've done nothing. Why should anybody believe you? The law requires that you submit a dispute in writing, but most banks will take it over the phone. Discuss what you need to do with your bank. This law applies in the United States. If you're elsewhere, you should discuss the options with your bank. In the UK, Australia, Canada, and the European Union, the laws vary. They all have the same name for it. It's called chargeback. There's some links and references below in the description of the video. Finally, I strongly recommend that you get identity theft protection. In this day and age, it's a good idea anyway. Your situation is one of significant risk. Do you remember who your date was, or who you gave your card to, or who was it shared with? Do you really know that they have the proper security measures in place? Look, this isn't like you gave your credit card to Amazon or Woolworths or Walmart or Carrefour. You gave it to somebody we don't know. That's the reality. So I said I had a special message for those who might have used their debit card in this situation. You need to do all of the above that I have previously discussed, but I want to note that I am unsure about your ability to dispute the transaction with a debit card. The law in the United States applies to credit cards, not debit cards. The transaction does run through the credit card network, MasterCard or Visa, and they will have their own policy. Again, this is something you need to discuss with your bank. But more importantly, you should never use your debit card in an online transaction. The reasons are twofold. First, the protections of using your credit card do not apply to a debit card. In the United States, in the case of a lost or stolen credit card, your liability is limited to $50 by law. Although the transaction runs through the credit card network, it's considered a cash transaction. That's taking the money directly out of your checking account. Second, and this is really bad, you can find yourself in a situation with unexpected charges and you start bouncing checks that are unrelated, or you see your entire checking account drain. I've received letters from guys telling me this is exactly what happened to them. Personally, I never use my debit card except at an ATM. Now, there's some who say it's okay to use it as a debit or a credit card with retailers you trust. I disagree, and here's why. If your card is compromised, if there is a data breach, even with a retailer you trust, your card could be used and your account drained before the retailer even knows there's a problem. If you're not in a financial position to get a credit card, then what you need to do is get a secured credit card. That is, you save your money and you make a deposit, say of like $500, and you get a credit line for that amount. You charge and pay it. It's a great way to build credit. Okay, so that's what you need to do. One last thought. I get questions all the time. I did this, I canceled, am I going to be charged? Am I going to be okay? Now, there are no stupid questions, but there are thoughtless ones, and this qualifies. Think about it. I don't know where you've been, what they did, or who has their credit card number. There's no way for me to tell. I know what's behind the question. They want somebody to make them feel better. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm not somebody's mom. I can't make them feel better. Call it tough love. Look, you made a mistake. Now it's time to man up, take care of the problem. If you do that, I promise you that you will feel better. Okay, that's it. I'm out of here. Until next time, stay safe.